Now a Target 12 consumer investigation. A Wakefield man said he gave his life savings to a driveway paving company, and now that paving company is under investigation after 6 more elderly homeowners claim the same thing happened to them.
The state is calling it excessive overcharging and claims the paving company owner targeted elderly homeowners, charged them outrageous prices, and in some cases did not complete the work. Target 12 consumer investigator Susan Hogan has been working this story and reveals more outrageous claims against the paving company owner, Mark Young Jr. from East Providence.
Not only is this paving company being investigated for overcharging, their customers claimed they were bullied into paying cash on the spot and even driven to their bank by the paving company owner to withdraw it.
86-year-old Richard Briggs can barely keep his composure after handing over his life savings for a half-finished paving job by this guy, 27-year-old Mark Young Jr. of East Providence, and owner of MTY Paving.
Mark said that he said, well, we'd do it pretty cheap. He said, we got some leftover asphalt, and we can put it down for you.
Yeah.
I said, well, what is it going to cost me?
Briggs said he never did get a price for the job because before he could refuse, the pavers were already pouring the asphalt. When they were done, Briggs was charged $16,000.
I said, well, I'll have to go to the bank. He said, well, we'll follow you down.
After the paving company got their $16,000 in cash from Briggs, the Target 12 investigators learned that they then drove up the street to another elderly man's house to talk to him about paving his driveway.
I'm expecting a quote of $1,000 to $1,300 to do what I wanted done. And he said, well, that's going to be $11,000. I said, what?
What happened next infuriated Emery's son.
They took him to the bank in their truck.
There seems to be a pattern, yes.
George Whalen, director of the Rhode Island Contractors Registration Board, tells Target 12 Mark Young Jr. has 6 claims against him since May, all alleging overpricing, shoddy workmanship, and all of the complaints involve senior citizens. His registration was revoked, but according to Whalen, he continues to work illegally.
He was blatantly doing work without it. So, you know, at that point, the board has to say, hey, we got to take other more aggressive measures.
But unfortunately, that action probably will not mean refunds for many of Young's customers, whose life savings are now gone.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And I really don't have it. It really drew me right down.
Target 12 reached out to Mark Young Jr. He refused to go on camera, but over the phone he told us he is, quote, not a mobster, and all of these claims against him are false. We've also learned now the South Kingstown police are actively investigating claims against Young.
Now, a Target 12 consumer investigation. On Eyewitness News at 5, we told you about a local paving company accused of taking advantage of elderly homeowners that's now under investigation by the state. New at 6, a warning about companies that use high-pressure sales tactics to get the job. Target 12 consumer investigator Susan Hogan joins us now with what you need to do to avoid losing thousands of dollars.
The Contractors Registration Board says driveway paving schemes are on the rise right now, and if anyone shows up at your home unsolicited offering you a deal to pave your driveway, just say no.
The story some unscrupulous driveway paving companies use to get your business may go something like this.
Said that they had some extra asphalt. They just come from the Commons.
That was the same exact story a local paving company recently used on this man, too.
He said, we just got done doing a job at the Common.
Yeah.
And he said we had some asphalt left over.
These Wakefield residents say they were approached by MTY Paving and its owner, Mark Young Jr. of East Providence. Both claim they were told the price to pave would be cheap, but in the end were charged thousands.
They didn't give them no contract.
George Foley, Richard Briggs' grandson, was outraged when he found out his grandfather paid $16,000 for this incomplete paving job and doesn't have an invoice or a contract, just a bank receipt showing the withdrawal.
And you have to have a written contract, and then they pay people up in front. You can't pay people for a job that hasn't been performed yet.
Had either homeowner checked Mark Young Jr.'s registration, they would have seen this: revoked, and 6 claims with the contractor's registration board, meaning when he paved their driveway, he was working illegally. Before hiring a paving contractor, make sure they are insured and never cave into making a quick decision just to get a good deal.
Bottom line, if you're going to have someone pave your driveway, get 3 estimates and never, ever pay up front in cash. With the Target 12 investigators, Ms. Susan Hogan, Eyewitness News.